Hello, everybody. This is Barbara, and we're going to be working on the Let's Go Anywhere card making workshop, the very, very last card making workshop by close to my heart. So it's a special one, right? And one of the cool techniques for this one is that you're going to spray this little scarlet paper here. Get it a little bit wet, not too much, but just enough so you can wrinkle it and fold it. And then it's just going to have that nice little wrinkly look to it once you put it on the card. Now, don't do like I did and not wait long enough for that to dry. It's probably going to take about, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes. And I just kind of didn't wait that long. And you're going to see the results of that in a few minutes. But you definitely want to make it, let it dry because it's hard to get the adhesive on. So you can see that I seasoned the stamp here, and this is a really cute set that I could see using over and over again. Now, I don't usually send cards out that have, things about trips and stuff, but I really could because so many members of my family and my friends travel. So, I really could actually send out some of these, and they don't all have necessarily a trip oriented, but we'll kind of go through them and we'll see. So this one says, let's explore, and I can't even see that. Oh, so let's explore together. So that might be more of a card that you would give to somebody you're going on a trip with, right? Or who knows, it could be a romantic type of thing too, as far as like if you're going somewhere with your husband and you just want to get him excited for the trip and stuff. That could be fun too. We're taking a trip this year. We're going to go to France. I'm very excited about that. I've been once, but this time we're going to spend time in Normandy and Paris. And a lot more time in Paris than I got to spend the last time. So very excited about that. So, I could totally give this card to my husband and my son who's also going and just get him a little bit excited about going on the trip. So more likely my son because he's off in Washington, D.C. All right, did you see that? Did you see all that white cardstock coming up? Because that glue just pulled that wet, that wet little piece right off, and so please let it dry first and you won't have that issue like I did. Now the cutest element for these cards is a little compass that they've got here. It's adorable, and it makes every card look awesome. So I think you're really going to like this set. Let me see, what do we got? Yeah, just doing some layering here, getting these put together. One of the things that people do not realize about design is layers are everything. And I was just watching videos on YouTube about decorating a house because I'm moving into a new house soon. And one of the things they said there was layers. So layering the rugs, having blankets over a couch, textures and all that kind of stuff all over. It's the same thing for cards. It's the same thing for layouts and scrapbooking too. You want lots of different layers, little textures, heights and stuff. All of that will make your cards and layouts so much better. Don't leave a lot of white space. You want to have a bunch of different papers on there and cardstock and pattern paper, all of that adds to make a much more beautiful one. And even this wood grain arrow that we're going to put on, that's like another look, so you've got several different looks here to make this card look fabulous, and it really does in the end. And if you don't like that sentiment, just choose one from another stamp set, and this card is still going to look awesome, so I love it. I absolutely love this card. I think it's so cute, and the color combination is amazing too. So I am going to miss you guys and miss making these videos, but I think I will be stopping once we're done because I'm not moving on to the next company. But this will be the second to last because I'm going to do a layout one for you. So we'll do all these cards for this set and then the scrapbook pages for this set. And hopefully you love it. Let's start the next card from Let's Go Anywhere, card making workshop from close to my heart. And just do your folding of your card and your tearing of your first little blue strip. Next up, we're going to use a little pine ink as the distressing on the outside of the white rectangle piece here. Let me see. I guess I'll use this side. And just a slight bit distressing if you like that look. If you don't, this is totally optional. But the, you know, close to my heart was always trying to teach us techniques. So that was pine. And then black ink, archival black is my favorite, if you can still get it. And this sentiment here, you are my true north. And I'm gonna press hard because I was having a little bit of trouble getting this to really embed. And then I'm gonna hold it down an extra second there. Looks better. And, you know, I think I put my black bottom on. No, that's right, okay. This must be the black then. Oh no, it's this one. That's one thing. It'd be nice if they were labeled on both ends, wouldn't it? All right, so next is sapphire. And let's do the little swirly thing here. And I've already seasoned my stamp. And that's just gonna kind of go around under the end. Be careful not to press too hard. This is a wobbly stamp, and so when you press down, you're not gonna get a crisp look like that. You wanna go a little bit lightly on something that moves easily. And lastly, we're gonna take a little of the toffee and your sponge and just lightly kind of dab over this whole area. And I wanna be careful because when I did this before, it's the sponge has got, you know, a kind of a square look to it, and so I don't want to have too much of that square or rectangular section show up. So I'm just trying to dab it lightly so that it's more all over the place and not in one, you know, rectangle. All right, so not perfect, but it's going to be covered up somewhat. So now we just have to put everything together. That's all the stamping. Hey. All right, top piece. It's going to be this green here. Well, once you get that prep done most of the time, the rest is not too hard. All right, and that goes right up at the fold. And then we're going to put this at the bottom next because that other piece needs to go on top. And I don't think in the measurements that they show exactly where piece 2C, the blue torn strip, goes. Make sure your passport words are showing the right direction. So they probably want it like this. But if you want to add a little more space there to show off the cute passport thing, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna just push it up a little bit. And then I'm gonna line it up with the side so that it goes on straight. Or you could also take your ruler on this side. Let me see, just in case. Just make sure I got it on straight there. Take my ruler and see if that all kind of lines up. Maybe a little bit off. And I see that I need to go just slightly lower on there because a little of that white was showing and I don't want that white to show. And you can also see I didn't quite cut my my paper long enough. So I'll just center it the best I can there. All right, so trick. So see, my paper is not quite long enough and a little bit here too. So there's a couple things you could do. You could trim. But that's going to be rough because that's really tiny. That's like 1/32 of an inch. Another thing you can do is just grab your, since a lot of this is blue, I'm going to grab my sapphire ink here and my sponge, and I'm just going to put a little bit of color along the edge to make it look not so white. And then it won't look so much like I couldn't cut. Now, it's not truly that I couldn't cut. It's just that, you know, you're not going to be completely accurate because the measurement is always, you know, it could be a little left of the black line on your trim or it could be a little to the right. You know, it can definitely go slightly off. So let's put True North onto the background here. And I know my poor little table is wiggling. I had to go buy a new phone holder because I accidentally left mine at Riverside Retreats in Marshall, and it's coming back to me, but it's going to be at the Mega Meet. For those of you who don't know what the Mega Meet is, it's an expo, scrapbooking expo coming up. All right, now we'll put this down. Now see, it was much easier than, rather than trying to tuck later, it's easier just to add that little piece of scarlet paper there. And let's see, the measurement for this is a 1/2 inch. So I'm gonna flip this over. And it's at 1/2 inch from the top of the beige, not from the scarlet paper. So 1, 2, 3, 4 little squares. And I'll tuck that scarlet under. And I think it's gonna be centered. So, about there. That looks pretty good. Okay. Flip it over. Let me see. Yep, that looks okay. And then we have, now, they tuck this big star underneath here. So up to you. If that doesn't tuck well for you, you know, you can put it on top too. I did another card and I didn't tuck it. I put it on top. This one I will tuck because it seems to fit a little bit easier on that one. And then while we're at it, let's just add this little star over here. Let that dry while we're putting together our compass. And where's the compass gone? The compass suddenly disappeared. All right, there's one piece. There we go. And that's just going to go in the center. Like that. And then I think they put the star down flat because they're going to add, I mean, let's say the north, south, east little piece, whatever you want to call that. And you can twist that slightly because it's, you know, it's supposed to be compass, so it's not supposed to necessarily be straight up and down. And this has been having trouble gluing that, so, and having it stay down. And then I'm just going to add one of these little stars to the center there. Now, I'm not going to put the foam tape on the back of that there. I'm going to put it up here because this is still drying. So I'm just going to add some up here. And I know I'm going to want it to go kind of over here. So I'm just estimating a little bit. So I decided to work on a video today because I'm very nervous. I have to go, there we go. I have to go do a recital with my guitar and I'm singing. I don't know what stupid thing I was thinking when I did it because I'm not a good singer. So I thought I'm gonna go work on these and try not to think about it too much. Now they had it on kind of straight. I'm gonna tip it just slightly. And that's it on that card. Adorable. You are my true north. So this is a love card. Let's do prep for card 3 of the card making workshop for Let's Go Everywhere. Bulge card base. And you're going to need your toffee ink. And we're going to add a little color to the edges. Optional. And how dark or light it is also optional. And back in the olden days, we wrecked those edges, man. We just totally wrecked them. It was funny. If I look back at my scrapbook pages and my cards and stuff, everything was just black. So much black around the edges, but now we're a little more subtle. Next is to spray a little bit of water. We're gonna do that same technique we did before on this piece. We wanna make it look, let me see. We want to make it look kind of like leather. So it says lightly mist with water, crumple up, then open it up and flatten back out, basically. So I'm gonna lightly spray both sides here. All right, and then crumple without ripping. That's the trick. And if you're finding it's difficult to bend and crumple, a little more water will do the trick. Oh, my friend Victoria used to do this all the time, and this girl would not just crumple, man. She'd crumple, she'd ink, then she'd go back and she'd crumple again, then she'd add some liquid glass, and by the time it was over, you swore that thing was leather. It was so funny. She is magnificent at that kind of stuff. All right, so, and I'm just going to wrinkle it a little bit more here. Once that's done, you want to flatten it all out and let it dry. I'm gonna pick up some of that water there even. That's on there. Let that dry for a long time. Like 10 minutes before you try to glue it. It'll be so much easier. But in the meantime, we can go and finish up a little bit more of this prep. This piece here is going to, I think we're using, are we using the dark side? I guess we're using the dark side. Do a little tear, 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch off the left edge, it says. So there's the left edge, right? And then we need to get the little star off here. And I don't think I brought out a little block, so I'm just gonna use this one here. And I'm gonna season it on my arm there. And then it's gonna be pine on pine, tone on tone, which is always an awesome look. And basically a little bit of random stamping. So remember when random stamping, you want to go in 3s like a triangle. So there's 2, and the other point of the triangle would be here, right? To make a triangle. Then these 2 are 2 points of the triangle, and now I'm making another triangle there. These are 2 points of a triangle. I'm going to make another. So if I was to draw a line, that would be a triangle, right? This one, now I don't want them to all line up too much. So this one I'm going to kind of put, it's still a triangle, but I would put, for these 2, I'm going to put it over a little bit further. And now these 2 points of the triangle, I'll put there. And then I want to do just a tiny bit off the side here, as if there was another triangle, and then a little bit off the edge here. Okay. So that's it for that one. Next, we're going to use black and toffee, and that's going to go on the little compass. So let me find my black. And that looks like it's time we celebrate you. Grab that. Normally I have my stamps on my blocks already, but I wasn't planning on doing this today, so we're doing a little more fly-by night. Fly by the seat of my pants, I should say. All right, so let me get this on right. Still with me? All right, it's time to celebrate you. Season it. And this is you're gonna have to make sure it goes right on that circle, so line it up well. Push it down for a second. Let it sink in. And open. There we go. And the second part is 2 little spots on that stamp set that are, where'd my stamp set go? There we go. Okay. So these 2 little hands like a clock. So we're going to turn this compass into a clock, I guess. I'm going to do one at a time here. So we're going to take this first. Oops, it does have an arrow on one side, so make sure the arrows go in the right direction. Season. Toffee this time. And we're gonna kind of go like we were going to basically 8 o'clock on the clock. So I'm gonna line it up with this big, well, it doesn't really matter too, since I'm just slightly off on that sentiment, but towards the top, pointing up, and then get the other one, and oops, did I do it right? I use the short one first, so that doesn't matter. So just if you use the long one first, it's probably smarter. So I'm just gonna make it just a little past 1. Okay, so here's my line up here, right? And so that would be 1, but I want it to stay straight because of the sentiment. So I'll just make it like it's a little past 1. Or a little past noon, I should say. Okay, there we go. Like that. Yours will be much better than mine. All right. And that is all the prep. My phone is a little wiggly. Let's put this all together now. I have sufficiently dried, hopefully, my my piece of leather here. Yeah, looks pretty good. Not pulling up that. That's gonna go right in the center. And they did some cool things with this, like they folded up the side a little bit, you know, like that. A little bit down here. So you can do that too if you want to. I think I got that. That's fairly centered, all right. And then next is this piece here. And this goes about 1/2 inch. I said I'd stop doing all these measurement things since you obviously know how to read. But this is my last card one, so I may revert to form. All right, so about 1/2 inch. And how far down? About 1/2 inch down too. All right, like that. And then the next piece, when we distressed here, let's see, how about that? That's going up about 1 1/8 of an inch here. And yeah, things are not going to probably lie down very flat on that leather piece, but that's okay. You can always add more glue if you need to. Okay, so this is going to be 1 1/8. So about there, and then how far from the side? It doesn't really, oh, it's 1 1/4, okay. Why am I doubting close to my heart that they wouldn't give me my measurements? They did. So 1 1/4 over. And then the green one is gonna go right on top of that, and it looks like 1/8 of an inch. All right, about like that. Eyeballed that one. Oops, I missed one. I missed the red. So I'm gonna lift this up carefully. We do have one little piece here. Sorry about that, you guys. Hopefully you're not doing this actually with me and just watching the video and then sitting down, because yeah, I'm gonna make some mistakes. But you won't have to put up with me much longer. One more workshop after this. Scrapbooking from the same paper. And it's only appropriate that I'm finished with scrapbooking because that is how I started. When I first signed up with Close to My Heart, I told my upline that I was just going to sell the scrapbooking components for Close to My Heart. I was not going to get into cards, which I find hilarious now. And I really do like cards, but scrapbooking's still my #1 love. Obviously, I ended up doing a lot of cards. And I kind of became a little bit well known for cards because I invented like card buffets, at least for Close to My Heart. I think I invented them because it was years and years ago. If you don't know what a card buffet is, basically like a little smorgasbord of card boxes that each have a different card in them. And then you go up and do just the cards you want to. I took a creativity class a long time ago, and they said that that you're not really considered creative if it's ever been done ever on the planet anywhere. And I just thought, well, that's kind of unfair. You know, how are you supposed to know if something's ever been done if you're the first one, if you think you're the first one who's done it? But I had come up with this idea of card buffets. Somebody else came up with the name. I didn't come up with the name. And presented it to Close to My Heart. And then not not too far after that, I started to see them pop up, and mostly it was close to my heart people that were doing it, that had seen my video and that such, and then all of a sudden I started to see it, the same words in other, you know, direct sales companies and stuff like that, and I thought, was that me? I mean, because, you know, they had the same idea, and they called it a card buffet. Now, I don't think that card buffet had been used before, so kind of think that I came up with that, but who knows? Like I said, in creativity class, if it's ever been done somewhere before, apparently you're not creative. But whatever. I like to think I came up with something unique. All right, little stars up here. So you're gonna get all my confessions on this, these last couple things, because I am starting to feel a little nostalgic. My biggest worry with Close to My Heart leaving and me not signing up for Stampin' Up is am I going to be able to keep my friends? Because you know how hard it is when you've lost that thing in common to stay in touch with people and stuff. So I'm going to put some effort into that. This card is awesome. So it's time we celebrate you. So this could be used for graduation, you know, for anything where somebody's had some success, you know. So I think that even though these are sort of travel oriented, the sentiments aren't necessarily. So I think that's going to work well for you. On to the last card. You're going to need a sponge. You're going to need your sapphire ink. You're going to need your stencil that you cut out at the beginning. Remember that one. And we're just going to basically randomly make big stars. So I don't know why you would need too much of this stencil. Actually, you could use the same part over and over again. And just sponge through it. And that one didn't turn out too good, so I'm gonna get a little more ink into those corners on that one. And remember the random stamping, just thinking triangles. If you didn't see the other part of the video, triangle right there. Oh, that one turned out much better. All right, let me and I'll just kind of put one off halfway here. Try to get into those little points of the star. And you can see I've got a little bit coming off there. It's not gonna matter too much because we'll be covering a lot of this up anyway, but try to not to make those little spongy marks. Keep your sponge on your stencil. And a bit here. Get the prep out of the way. And then the rest is easy. Last card. I asked Close to My Heart workshop that I'll be videoing. Yes, it gets all over your hands. But not the last one I'll be doing, because I still got some that I need to catch up on. All right, now you're gonna need toffee ink. And so yes, I know that the very first card in this video I sped up, but I just had the time, and so I thought, you know, I'll just talk through these ones. So is this gonna go straight in the middle? Yeah. So just straight in the middle with the toffee ink on your little red strip, scarlet strip, just like that. And we're gonna need sapphire again. And this is going to be for the sentiment, which is going to have some, let me see, toffee edges, so I might as well just leave my toffee out too. So take a different side of your sponge. Running out of areas. Sponge the edges a little bit with toffee. And we're going to keep that out because you're going to also do something on top of the sentiment with that toffee ink like we did before. This looks like it's going right straight in the middle. So glad we found each other. Which is always a good sentiment, huh? And just a little dab of the toffee ink across that just to make it stand out a little bit. And that looks awesome. I hope Stampin' Up, I am assuming that they are experts at cards, so I hope there's going to be tons and tons of fun cards for you to make. If you, oh, and we have one little other thing here too. If you're moving on to trying some of their items out, also going to need the little swirly thing. And let's see, we're going to go kind of upside down. So I'm going to flip that around like this. And again, sapphire ink, a little bit down here. We're just filling this spot up basically. And a little up here. Oh, that does like to press down. Now I want to show you the difference there. Go light, because if you press down too hard, you get this. That's the problem. It's a very wiggly stamp. Okay. And I believe, oh, we need to do a little bit of, I'm going to get a smaller block here. It looks like toffee again. And this is going to be the little pieces. And did I cut those out? Where are those? That was not a thin cut, so let me see. I guess we hand trim. So there should be a little, probably a little piece, and I'm not seeing it. So we'll just use this. So you probably, doesn't say where those are. So you must have cut some little pieces, or if you've got leftovers, not sure where that came from. But you're going to need a little more French vanilla. I'm just going to use some scrap here. Somehow I missed cutting them, or they just expected us to use scrap. I don't know. It was probably somewhere. Okay, and then just cut those out. I had somebody dinging me. It's probably my husband, because we are going to Cancun at the end of the week, business trip. His company is wonderful and takes us on trips, and I don't have to earn them like I did with Close to My Heart, so that's really nice. Just going for 4 days. It's a short one, but you know, who doesn't need four days at the beach, I'll tell you. I like the company he's with. I've been shopping, you know, getting new swimsuits and all that stuff. New sandals. Some fun things to take. And so anyway, the reason I brought that up is because he's been texting me all day on plans. All right, I think we're done. So that, put that all together, and we might as well just head right on. I was going to turn off the camera, but let's just move on. Fold your card. Where's my card? I know I had it around here in my bone folder. Put it back. It has disappeared. I'm sure it was here a minute ago. All right. I'm just going to use something else. Close that up. Hope it didn't fall in the garbage. Okay. So, left-hand side, 4A, piece 4A, and looks like we're going to have a little white border. So this is going about 1/4 inch from the side. And just make sure it's even. You know, if you're going to eyeball it, just make sure it's even. And then next to that is the little red scarlet strip. Prep is done, so everything else is easy. And next is the little passport piece, which I think that paper is too cute. My passport means a lot to me, so that's just special. Okay, and this is going on here. And did they pop this up? They probably did. think I will. So I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, let me get, see if I got enough foam tape. I don't, I'm down to the last of it here, where I've got to go get wherever I put my stash. And I'm not quite sure. Gotta be someplace in the other room. But we'll use what I've got here, and then I'll fill the rest up with some pop dots. Because I did have those out here. I want to use the big ones. Oh, yay. I found some more. All right. This, oh, it's not going to be enough. I see there's one more. Nope. So let's use pop dots. Hopefully they're all the same height. All right. I hear the birds singing outside. Oh, I'm so glad it's spring. It's been a beautiful day here today. All right. Let's get the backing off of all these. And we're almost done. And I hope that Stampin' Up! Is going to have some new close to my heart products. I understand some things are coming that are wonderful, including, and I don't know if this is a big secret, so, but they did tell us that an album retreat, which will be nice. So if that was a secret, sorry, keep it to yourself. All right, this is going 5/8 of an inch down, 5/8 or 7/8 from the side. So even, basically, in the center of all of this blue. All right, and now we're gonna add these little pieces. I am not gonna pop those up. I'm just gonna put some glue down here. Like that. Now remember, I'm not going to be going on to Stampin' Up, so please send your sales Valerie's way. She's a good girl. She treats you right. Now it looks like, did they do something to these stars? Yeah, they sponged them. So let's sponge these with a little sapphire ink. That's a great idea. So it looks like 2 of them. Remember, optional. If you like that wood green, you can just leave that. I'm just gonna go a little light, so some of the wood green maybe will show through a little bit. And those are going here over by the S. Yeah, that looks cool. And down here, kind of almost off the white, half off. That draws your eye over. That's a really good technique. Always having everything inside is artistic. So let it go off the side a little bit, and then one arrow, and we will be finished. And for those of you who like the using up your stash, this could use sparkles, you know, or dots, sequins. Throw them on there. Just because this is, you know, the way the workshop is doesn't mean you can't put some more on. So that's it, folks. The last close to my heart card that I'll probably be videoing in. And I got one more workshop for you. It's going to be a scrapbooking workshop using this paper. And I'll see you soon.